I hope that everybody is ready for today's class and we can start our lesson number 6. So today is the December 16th of 2014. My name is Yogini Rasa. I'm yoga instructor of the International Open Yoga University. And these are the yoga lessons for those people who are studying yoga from the very basics and are using the site yogaopenyoga.com. You can also now use our YouTube channel, and it is Open Yoga. There you will be able to find the materials as soon as they are published, even before they are published on our site. So you are welcome to use them, and you're welcome to put your favors or not favors in way of this. So I will be really looking forward to that. And you can find all the materials on the website yogaopenyoga.com for the systematic learning of yoga. And there is everything in a way of text materials, videos, tests, and also very soon we are having the practical videos and materials, so be ready for that, and we will be happy to see you there. This is the last lesson this year, as we are having a 2-week break for the online classes, but it doesn't mean that we won't have new material on the site. We are very actively developing it. A lot of wonderful, the best people I have ever met are working on it, both technically, on the translations, on interpretation, on this design. Thereby, keep close monitoring, and as the site is now developing, you have much more possibilities to explore different areas of yoga. And we will see you next year, and please, all the information on the future classes, whatever is going to happen, all the news are available on the site, so please feel free to go there. And also a great possibility to subscribe to our YouTube channel and not to miss whatever news happening on the site and the videos. Last time we reviewed various kinds of yoga, and we mostly were speaking about the classical kinds of yoga, like the yoga in general, a bit about the history, about geographic of the history. Then there was a little feedback about Hatha yoga, Kriya yoga, mantra yoga, pranayama yoga, and also some other yogas that are not that oftenly practiced, but very useful. At the same time, there will soon be posted material on the text material on this topic, and this material contains even more information about Nada yoga, the Laya yoga, the Nidra yoga, the yoga of dream, yoga of sound, and some advanced kinds of yoga that not many people have an access to. Thereby, it is very good, advised, recommended for you to look through the video material as well as the text material. They differ, and to understand it better, to get more information, there's usually a text material. However, the video materials we are offering have more this intangible, invisible, or something that you can say in words, but you can express with some feelings, senses, emotions. Thereby, it's not enough to have the text material. Or sometimes when we make certain statement, we say it in a certain tone of voice, while the paper is, even with the marks and exclamations and question marks, are not able to express the entire meaning of what was meant to say. And it's also a good way of repeating. Thereby, I have decided to devote this last lesson this year to the open yoga courses. Why so? That's why I had to come back to this material and explaining you once more. And a lot of people have been asking, what are the open yoga courses about? Is it some kind of light entertainment? Is this for the free time? Is this really serious yoga studies, as you say that you are the yoga university? Thereby, let me devote this hour or so for discussing the open yoga courses that are available online on the site yogaopenyoga.com. So, and we are doing this because people are making a lot of the same mistakes. And I will try to explain them or warn you about them, that you would have less possibility to make them during this time. And we will work on this area, because when you start practicing yoga, or when you get on our site, you would probably expect right away the practical exercises, practical training, tutorials, or some other things of this area. But our experience of many years as the university training future yoga instructors and yoga teachers are having a wide experience in it, and close studying of the purposes of the courses, the way the materials are made, and what kind of assisting tools you could use are very, very helpful in your future. Also, for your time to be more efficient, effective, or the usage of it, and you could really understand, is this for you? Is this the right place for you? Or there's no need to waste your time. Take this material seriously, as this will leave a serious impact on all your yoga studies. At this university, or at this site, at this place, at this area, this school, or in other schools, as a lot of useful things are combined in it. And it is helpful to know what are these yoga courses and what should you study in them, because as you might have noticed, we have divided courses in several steps, and there are materials for both you can see and you can listen, you can read, you can test your knowledge, and you can do a lot of other things in the future, and they are continuously updated. The site is quite new. We are rebuilding it, and we have started this online course, online materials, to make the way of studying yoga more effective. And from time to time, it is very advised to return to the previous material, as we might have added something new, or you have already gained some experience, some knowledge, and you are able to understand the new, deeper layer of the knowledge of the study that is very, very helpful. And all the yoga instructors, yoga teachers highly value these things, because I have heard people who are about a year or two in yoga learning different poses, usually hatha yoga, And then they say, well, I have passed all the yoga, I know it, I am moving to a new area. Meaning that they already know all the poses, they are very flexible, very strong, and now they can go on. However, the physical aspect of yoga is a very narrow one. However, the best survived from all of them because of the different difficult conditions that yogis had to go through, and losing probably majority of the advanced yogas and more sophisticated areas of yoga. And it requires years and years to pass these uh, pass this understanding from one area into another, and to really learn something. Because last time we were talking about the methods of the consciousness and methods of energy, or the meaning of relaxing in yoga, then very often people get the first notion of this area only about 2 years in a row, or yes, it's about 108 weeks that this is a very significant number in yoga that we should obey. Also, some techniques like Kriya Yoga are advised to do 108 times before you might transfer from the kind of rough physical level to more subtle levels and more fine levels. Thereby, uh, we often come to the things we have learned before. So all the materials that are in the ways of all classes should be studied step by step, sequentially, to ensure that you have a foundation. It's like you to build a house, you build a foundation, and the roof is coming only later. There is no use to go for the advanced kind of yogas. That would be the roof of the house if you don't have a foundation and the walls. Thereby, you would only be able to go to the advanced kind of yogas when you are very strong in the classical kinds of yoga. And I have also met a lot of people who say, well, I don't need hatha yoga. This that would work with the first chakra, Muladhara chakra, or whatever chakra there is. I will go right for the Sahasrara chakra, or the seventh chakra, or whatever chakra they say. But it's impossible. It's just fooling themselves in this way, and thereby we will go step by step. If somebody's offering you something more complex right away, then this will be in a way that you would offer a preschool kid to start with the advanced math right away at the university level. Thereby, you can try, you can experience it if it's necessary, but some wise men say that this might not be the most effective way to do it. Thereby, we have divided the course in several steps, and all of the courses have videos, they have text materials, they might have audio version for those who want to listen on the way. Then there are tests at the end of the of every course. There will be homework, a serious one. We'll talk about them later. And there will also be some visual materials for you to use for Kriya Yoga, for Hatha Yoga, the materials we have developed. And I would really want to thank all of those people who have get involved in this project. and you will have a chance to do it too. And I will talk about this on the way today. Okay, so yes, the serious level of these studies also are set by the tests because it is not very reasonable to study something if you think that there will be no way to test you. If you are just listening as an entertainment, sometimes your thoughts go aside, sometimes it happens often, and you don't expect that you will be questioned on anything or that you will have to kind of discuss this material. Thereby, the fact itself that there will be some tests, there will be some homeworks is very valuable and helps you to process this information more deeply because these lessons will be a serious training for the intellect too. In yoga, yoga is the union. Yoga is the combination and yoga is the union. And yoga is harmony. The harmony between two things. In this aspect, it's the harmony between the physical factor and our intellect, between the physics and the mind. And it is very important because if we neglect any of this part, we might run in a serious trouble. Um, there are people who love intellect, and there are people who are too much in the energy. Um, Sometimes a lot of people love to use the word energy. Whatever happens, it's energy, and everything is like wow and superb and fantastic, and this is energy. I know. Uh, you can do it for some time. There is energy, and it really works. But if you don't feel stable on this physical level, or you have not worked it out, then energy doesn't work. Not in the way they might expect. There are people who like to come together under the name of yoga, having fun. It's also necessary meeting like-minded people and so on and so forth. But there is nothing, there is no result without the hard work on our own behalf, and nobody's going to do it for us. So that's why I just stress that if you came just for entertainment, then this is not the place to do it because it's going to be serious. And without this, there will be no pass to the advanced sections. Yes, you can go admire, you can put the smiles on you, pretend that you understand something, but people will feel it, and you will feel yourself that um, it's only a mask you put on your way. So yes, so you need a fundament to build the roof on, because nobody at the International Open Yoga University are saying that they are gurus. No, the foundation is required for you to be able to find your guru and to recognize your teacher, because some teachers are not able to speak or don't have a time for the first years or preschool while they are teaching the ones that are on the university level. If they will have a smallish chance to train already prepared yogis, they will do that. And they won't have time for those who don't have this kind of knowledge. And it is necessary to train your memories systematically. That's why we have this memorizing aspect for the each class, remembering what we did before, And also we bring our attention and ability to find answers to life questions quickly. If we learn to focus, then it is done far more easily than you might expect. And this concentration, being here and now, is principle for those who want to succeed. You might have seen successful people when they are working, nothing will take their attention away unless very important, but they won't spend their time on trifles. Um, they have made the goal, they have defined the goal, they are very stable in the second yoga principle, even though they might not call it, but they fix their mind on something, they work with their intellect, uh, and they learn from their own results, or that somebody would say those are their mistakes. And we will try or train our ability to understand the studied material from the first time, and also the tests will help you to train systematically, train abilities to memorize and to understand, and learn how to find answers for sudden questions in a limited amount of time. Thereby, we have these tests. For each question of the test, you will have probably about 30 seconds, and there will be a multiple choice questions, most oftenly for the test, and you have to answer them. Thereby, you will have to focus your mind on the task you have done or the material you have studied. This will be either about each lesson, each topic, or probably you will have to pass 3 lessons or the entire course, and then at the end you will have a certain number of questions. This number will vary from the course to course. And yes, we learn in this way, we learn to focus on the current work. That's what the successful business people do. And they succeed, they gain respect from the people around, they gain a profit, and they are very effective. And they are able to reach any goal they have made for themselves. Thereby, this is very, very important. As I mentioned, there's also a section in every course called homework. You will be able to download the file. It will contain several sections where you will provide information on the studied material. And we really suggest you to take it seriously, because whenever you submit your homework, it shows a lot about you. Don't leave empty spaces. Share your thoughts. Be open, be honest, and be kind. And we will also ask to make a question or few about the studied material. And this will be a kind of a test question where you would ask a question on the topic and also provide 4 different answers, with one of them the true one or the correct one based on the materials you have studied. And in this way, if when we study this material of your homework, we find this a nice input in the study, we will add your question to the test. And this is your way to participate in the creation of these courses and to help others to understand this topic better, because these courses are the computer screen for you, probably, when you open our website, but there behind it there is no robot or system. There are live people who will be checking your homework and giving you a feedback within 1 week or two. So be respectful to these people who are devoting their time to help you in your yoga practice. Okay. Um, and you might have a question: is it if may I pass courses without doing homework and without writing the tests? Yes, but the experience shows that this is not the effective way. Um, our requirement is the serious students. Otherwise, we are not wasting our time just to chat nicely, but we really look forward to the serious students who want to study and who are interested in these topics and in improvement. And as I said, this is not entertainment site. And also, when you finish one course, you gain the access to the next course. Thereby, if you have not passed the test or if you have not handed in the homework and it has not been checked, you won't be able to receive a certificate and you might not have an access to the next course. Thereby, take a look if it fits or not. Then what should you remember during studying materials of openyoga.com? The objective of Open Yoga and of these courses is to try to explain the most complicated and sections of yoga in a simple and clear language to ordinary people who have never studied yoga seriously. It means that we really work on the basic level. This is our strengths and benefits and advantage. We use a normal language to talk to you, and we use a lot of examples in trying to demonstrate whatever we try to tell from the theory. We try to use the least amount of Sanskrit that is possible. We don't try to use complicated terms, even though we could. And this is kind of a mastery to really help people to get the notion of this teaching, of this doctrine. But we believe that in today's world, people really need this basic understanding of yoga. And this is the most serious problem that today is. Because a lot of people go to hatha yoga classes and don't even get further than just a physical exercise. They don't apply the methods of yoga, or their instructors are not aware of it. They simply have no access to the knowledge and possibility to work on this, and thereby if you don't know the elementary things, the all teaching starts falling apart. Even if you get something, you get one step higher, two steps higher, the fall will be more painful just because you have not learned what you should learn. And but at the same time, it doesn't mean that you don't have to focus attention, work seriously over the course material. These are serious yoga studies, because some say, oh, this is easy language, I get everything, understand everything, I have passed all the tests, I am superb. Believe me, understanding of the first and second yoga principle that we already discussed takes quite a lot of time. And you get this layer by layer. And when you have advanced to the stage of 0, you will advance to stage 1, and so on and so forth. The further you go, the more advanced you get. And the popular saying, quotation, is that I know that I know nothing, but others even don't know that. And this is right also for the yoga. The further you go, the more you have this notion that there's a lot of more to explore. Every step you make expands your horizon even more, and it is very nice feeling, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and nobody of really good yogis would ever tell you, I know everything in yoga. Oh, come on. This is not serious, and this is not modest. This is the ability that yogis have, the modest, to be modest. Thereby, yoga is natural, clear, logical, and exciting subject, and we will try to bring this in the same way. Very useful, very exciting, and we are not spending our time that much on the cover. For us, the content is important. Thereby, sorry if some of the recordings are not that professional. If sometimes on the website something takes more time to explore and to do, but all the people who are working in this project are volunteers. For them, who don't receive any financial support for that, and even are paying their own money to support this, and there are other people who are helping to finance it. They don't want anything else, just to have this teaching available to the people. And it might seem quite unusual or strange in this world when a lot of people expect something from you, or wherever there's something for free, you would wait for the trick. Where do I sign for the unknown rules that will impact my life for some time? Okay. Then not here. Here, everybody is interested for you to advance, to get more advanced. And we really hope that by studying, working with yourself, you will find this rhythm where you have to force yourself, where you have to let it go, where you can have to combine two extremes and have this middle golden path. And we will start understanding these natural rhythms, and that's why we have the yoga. And when we will learn it, we won't need yoga anymore. So, and there is one more very important aspect that I was talking with you on the very first class as the homework, and it was yoga diary. So I hope that you do have your yoga diary. Yoga teaches us that the more intellect will direct the attention, we have the more intention to direct our attention to the studied material, the better we will understand it. When you simply read it, or you simply hear it, this is level one. Oh, I heard it, but somewhere on my way, I have some other thoughts of what I have to do today, or what was my dream like. Then the other level is when you read it, And this probably will take more of your time and more focus. But sometimes, even when you read a book, you see you are kind of reading, but then you see that your attention went to the right or left. And again, you missed this. And this is more difficult with the serious texts when you understand that your head is like go boom, and your brain shuts down, saying, no, I'm not able to understand anything else. However, with the easy material, we have this notion, oh, I understand everything. Uh, and if we use the simple language, this is the case, then at some moment, if you are asked to repeat whatever was said or to discuss on this topic, you will find it quite difficult because we didn't focus our attention. But if we have the yoga diary, if we put the most important things down, then we bring our attention there, and through the motion of our hand with the motorics, there's certain link, a connection with our mind, and we will be able to remember it, and our mind will be able to work on it and to analyze it. That is a very important thing for yogis. So we strengthen our concentration, making notes of the studied material and by writing by hand, and we can also repeat some things verbally. We can mutter, if of course, if it's possible, um, in where you are, if you are not troubling some other people next to you, but repeating it aloud. The same, for example, when you read a book, there is one level when you read silently to yourself, or when you do it loudly. For example, when kids learn a poem, as they read it once, twice, then they read it aloud, and then they start um, learning it by heart, like line after line. They work on this poem, and then they are able to read it in front of other people. So, and how the mastery is going with the pronunciation, different very interesting things. Also, when we talk about the ancient text, it was very much advised to read them aloud when you need to concentrate. And in some religions, this tradition is very, very strong. People take the book, or they have learned things by heart and they just cite them, quote them, and repeat, repeat, repeat. And thereby, at this time, you are not letting your mind to go sides. You're focusing, and this focusing on something from reading, writing, remembering uh, helps you to do it in your daily things or work or studies, other studies, or some other things that you need to remember. And so, and you will notice it. You will really notice it if you make a yoga diary. You write down some problems or some things you want to work on, and then you just are able to take a look back. Yes, you would make some conclusions about what you have done, what has worked, or what has changed. Uh, the suggestion, piece of paper and the pen in your hands. Whenever you are listening to open yoga classes, the lessons, take a sheet of paper, write it down, and don't use your computer or the telephone for the notes. They might be handy sometimes, but there is this information that whenever you work with the hand, There are some motoric skills, and some other things are going on directly with our mind and focusing and analyzing that is not possible with the computer. When you type, you do it much faster, and you are not focusing on it sufficiently. Probably there is a time factor, but most probably there is something else that we are not aware of. So for now, not to break this tradition and thing, you will have to work with your hand, with your pen, or you might have some different pens with different colors that you would like to underline or on the headlines or something else that would allow you on a certain times to look back on this on in these diaries. So get a clean notebook, notepad, convenient size that you can take with you, where you can put it nicely somewhere. Uh, you can have even several of them. Yoga instructors usually make one is for their daily life, then they might put some for different kinds of yoga for their practice, or they make a special notebook for their axiomatics and yoga theory. Uh, you are more than welcome to do that. Try with the first one. If you don't have a notebook yet, if you need to go to the store to buy one, take any sheet of paper, take a napkin, do it. Just the fact that you have taken it, write something on it, like today's date, and that the lesson today is about the open yoga courses and how to use them effectively and seriously. And highlight your courses. Notice all stages of your training, work, practice, materials of the course, lecture notes, future plans, thoughts, and emotions. Thereby, you will be able to make logical conclusions that are required for, for you. And it is very useful to draw pictures and diagrams or express creatively in your notes. Or if you don't have a yoga diary here on your hands, you take any sheet of paper, you draw what you wanted, and then you just glue it or stick in your yoga diary. Later on, if you have your blog, for example, or some internet site, Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, or whatever, and you want to share, do it. But first, write it on the paper, and then you can explore this topic more in detail by the computer by typing, sharing, liking, disliking, free, and you can photo your pictures and post them, but draw them by your hand. Later on, if you are great designers, you will do it. The same thing with the famous designers. They don't design their um, wonderful clothes on the computer. They do it by hand. The same with the architects. Firstly, the idea of the house is made by hand, and this is a very important aspect also in our studies when you want to focus on the materials. And our experience shows that yoga diary is very effective for your attention, your attentiveness. Uh, and it really develops your will and ability to complete what was started. Last time we were talking about Raja Yoga or the management yoga or the president's yoga. And this is the basic. You learn to control and you learn to achieve what you wanted. Thereby, I really, really suggest you to do this. And whoever, I would say like that, the large percentage of those people who have studied but have not had yoga diary have failed or left the studies, have had some difficulties on the way that others with their yoga diary found very, even left without a notice. And thereby yoga diary is very effective way for you to learn. And from time to time, you just go back, probably quite regular, stick them to some anniversary, some date. For example, once in 3 months or 6 months since I started the yoga courses, I review the material that I have studied. I take a look back on my emotions, how well I'm doing in my life, how do I feel. Um, Thereby, this will really help you. And the yoga type, uh, it's a supreme yoga. It is advanced yoga, and you will saturate this diary with your energy and consciousness. It's like a little magic. Whenever you take your diary in hands, after some time, it will give you ability to concentrate. It will make you calm. It will work um, as the clarity tool or self-confidence. Thereby, it turns in your wonderful magic amulet, like your guardian, because you will have been with it in a very important moments of your life. And really, this is very important, very useful, handy. Um, Choose whatever you like, the names, and they will fit in this way as the helpful tool. It seems, what is it? It's a piece of paper and there's some ink on it, but it's an amulet. And don't worry about your way of handwriting. Don't try to be very like, it's not how beautiful you are writing, how straight you are writing. Um, Make some figurative expressions that you only might understand, or the way you want to express it. Make some um, symbols you want to use for your mood, for your practice. How many times you practice Hatha Yoga? How many poses? Was this day nice? Did you learn anything new? Repeating something that you are memorizing that was done. Also, yogi, before getting started any class, it is advised to try to remember the night's dream, what you were dreaming about if you can. And the yogis, when they learn to concentrate, can do it. Um, then they try to put it aside so it would not intrude during their yoga practice. The same thing they do, they remember their day. What happened during this day? And they remember it and then put it aside to have a room for the practice. Also, if there are some plans for the evening or day, depending on when you have your yoga practice, again, you try to remember what you have to do, what you have to remember, and then again you put it aside to make space for yoga practice. And this is the way diary works. You are not afraid that you will forget something, that you will go off the road. It's there. You focus when you need it, you're focused, and you won't go shopping, forgetting the only thing you went shopping for. Okay? Thereby, uh, it will protect you, calm you, and help you to master the yoga in the best possible way. And if you want to stay in yoga longer to succeed better, then make it. If you are afraid that somebody's going to read it, then not that many people are really interested what we want to do. But as I said, make figurative language, make your own small symbols, icons that will help you. the way you would express your thoughts if you are kind of not feeling very secure about that. But I think that's the least of the problem. It's just your creative energy, and it's nothing supernatural in it. Every is quite sensible and explained in yoga, but it's a yogic method. Uh, and at this moment, we are not really able to explain with such a logic because probably some answers are on a bit subtle, fine level at the moment. But this is enormous potential, really extensive, and a lot of yogis have used this method. When you learn to concentrate, uh, that you can review whatever happened during your entire life, probably you won't need a diary. But if there's still some time to go to this level, then I would really advise, on the behalf of yogis, of open yoga, to have your yoga diary. This actually was your homework for the lesson 1. So, want to find your full potential hidden in you? Then you really need that. And when you study yoga, your mind is like a magnet, and your diary is like a battery to store this energy and consciousness, or the result that you receive from yoga. And that's expanding your abilities, possibilities, and a lot of things that you used to think are impossible really become possible. So make your notes in your yoga diary by hand and start it right now. You have a sheet of paper, take it, write down something, and this is your possibility. Otherwise, there will be a lot of things coming on your way in a way of negative karma. A lot of life problems, a lot of difficulties, and you will forget about yoga, about studies. You will get overwhelmed by all these troubles and won't be able to keep focused. The diary helps, the yoga helps you to be focused on what you need. So this is important. And yoga diary will also help you to review the studied material. For example, the course might take some time, and you would, when you are studying it, it seems, okay, I get it. I understand it, have no problems with that. But when we will say, well, the course, kinds of yoga, please tell your thoughts about it. Tell about how did it go? What were the unclear questions? What was new you learned? And you suddenly realize that, oops, I have nothing. But if you have your yoga diary, there is information, the structure of the lesson, or the emotions you had during that time, or something you experienced. And when you have this information, your experience, your knowledge, you are off to go to the next level. Okay, and yes, do it in handwriting, not computers. You can be brief, and you can expand later on the computers. And also, when you visualize something and you draw it, you don't have to be an artist. Actually, we all are artists. But we, a lot of people at school, including me, were told that they are not able to draw or paint or create something, especially left-handed people. Like with knitting, it was a nightmare. And they are saying, no, you can't. You can. And you have to, wherever you make, whatever is your drawing, it's fantastic, it's wonderful, and it's expanding your creative energy. Um, and all the yogis were drawing things by hand, writing their mantras, the words of mantra by hand. And this is non-obvious yoga connection between this hand motor activity and the concentration work. Uh, but there is a lot of evidence that this is working. Thereby, yes, I think I have made my clear too much. So sorry if that's. But the problem is that yes, we don't understand these principles at the full extent, and we can take the freedom to change the tradition uh, and use the computer. We have to work by hand. And when we will clear how this mechanism works, we can create our own new way for doing it. But so far, by hand, your yoga diary. Okay, that's the clear. Um, and also remember that you will not read your most important book in your life. You will write it with your own life. There are books, they are wonderful. We need to read them, but that there is much more to do by processing it through us. And yoga will help you to make this book in a paper form. A lot of people don't write their books, so they have probably some empty spaces, empty pages, and thereby they lose their track of what is going on. And yes, we really encourage you to express yourself creatively. If during your time on the course you have made some work of art, drawing or a diagram or whatever, we really invite you to send them to us to the yogaopenyoga@gmail.com with your permission to publish it on our site and to share it with other yogis and the people who want to start learning yoga. And then this way you can help up to a lot of people to succeed in yoga. You also are welcome to send other things to us, like your questions, your feedback. We will be very happy to hear that, and also very soon we will post what are the upcoming events. Yes, we know that there is a grandiose ability or capabilities in each one of us. And it is very important to discover them, because by suppressing them, we run into very serious trouble. If we realize them, we attain peace in life and self-confidence, self-sufficiency, and creative potential. But if you are not expressing, or say, oh, well, I can't draw, or I can't play, or I'm not talented, then there are some negative trends going on, like aggression, depression, and anxiety that you will kind of have to face in the modern society quite often. People don't really want to be creative, with some exceptions. And that's the thing to think about. If you are worried, then you take a sheet of paper, you write down something, you draw something, You make something, you go to the kitchen and uh, do the magic there. Um, who cares about the result? What other things? It's you have to feel this. You have to feel good because there's nothing good or bad. There is nothing dirty or clean. There's either appropriate or inappropriate. Sometimes a good boss have to be rude if the employees are not listening to the orders. Otherwise, the company will go bankrupt. But if the employees are working well, do they need the rude employer? This employer might ruin their motivation at all, and then the company might face quite serious troubles. So you see, the same thing in some situations is appropriate, and in some it's not. And it's easy to get rid of many negative factors in your life um, if you turn something that is unsuitable into a suitable. Uh, Sometimes, yes, you can help other people by to be an intermediary. You know that somebody is having something in excess and would like to get rid of that. And there is the other person who has a lack of it. And you can be a transmitter who can bring from one side to another and making those people happy. Because when there's excess of something, it's difficult. You have to take care of that and it's problematic. You're overwhelmed. You don't have possibility to realize your full potential. Here again, there is a lack of something, and again, you can't realize your full potential. And there's somebody in the middle who can help, thereby, it would be the duty of this person to do it if they can. And sometimes a simple drawing on the course can bring much more clarity than hours of lectures, hours of words, pages of the text. Thereby, it's in your own hands. So seek a happiness through your self-realization and use your energy for the benefits of other living beings. So start with something small and then you'll see how well it works and you can go on. Yes, and don't be shy or don't lack of your self-belief. Express yourself. I might sit and think, yes, there are the great yogis. They are fantastic. They are smart. They have realized a large amount of their potential. Why should I ever read lectures? But before to go to them, for them to teach on their level, there have to be somebody intermediate who has to give the basic knowledge to the people. And there are a lot of many teachers who have given me this knowledge. A lot of people, a lot of soulmates who have shared their time for this resource to be available. And many of them won't even have their word on it. And they are not seeking for recognition or awards. They are simply happy that they can do it. They had a time resource, they expressed themselves, and they are not waiting for something in return. Because they are very happy that this made some good changes for other people. And appreciate your creativity to overcome this lack of confidence or shyness. There's nothing to be shy of. Why should be you shy of? Uh, don't think about how other people will react. It's their own problem. It's not your problem because we can try to adjust our life for the attitudes of other people, but sometimes the only attitude they might have is to dislike whatever you do because they find you more supreme in something, even if it's not true. So there's always this lack of knowledge about something, lack of information, that we don't know the other part of the coin or other half of the coin. Thereby, just be there, and I really look forward to tons of emails coming with the creative work and inspirations from your yoga diaries. Okay, let's talk about the time. Time is the most irreplaceable factor in the life. It is very important, and yoga teaches us that in our lives we have enough time to fulfill our goals, and at the same time we don't have a time to waste. Somebody calculated that there are, if the middle age, the average age in the Western culture is about 80 years. You live in your life, and this is about 700,000 hours. From one side, it's 700,000 hours to reach your goals, or 700,000 hours to do nothing, to waste your time. So it just depends on you how you will use your time. We have large number of different problems, ranging from material and ending to the spiritual ones. And some of them are caused, or most of them are caused by our inability to navigate our time. There is yoga appreciates the second yoga appreciates time by the second yoga principle, inviting us to define the goals and not waste our time, resources, energy, attention to things that are not leading us to them, to these goals. And we don't want to waste your time too. We want to have things effective. Thereby, we have these yoga materials for you online. We have the yoga classes for you. And thereby, we recommend you to have your yoga diary to use your time effectively. And in this yoga teacher, everybody needs relevant harmony and rhythm. This is finding the beat of the universe, the globe, and this is the aspect of Rita that the Vedas are talking about. If you feel time, you can develop this rhythm to understand it. You can understand these laws of the universe, and this will, in many ways, help you to protect you. And disrespect of time is causing the suffering. Thereby, Western experiments with the switching of time to daylight saving time is just a nightmare for the ancient yogis. Because there are the certain rhythms of our life. You are used to waking up at some time, you are used to going to sleep at some time. Even if the sun changes the time when it rises and when it goes down. In India, it's much the same. When at 7 it's dark and you go to sleep. In the Nordic countries, the summer is very light, even till 10 p.m., starting from 6 p.m. But in the winter, there are the regions where half of the year is completely light and the other half is completely dark. But they adjust their rhythms. They don't switch those times. And here in the yoga courses, we will ask you to follow your time. Thereby, in the yoga diary, you write the date when you start the course. You write the time when you started to watch the lesson. You write down when you finish watching the lesson. You write down how much time you spend for the tests. and you will need to write this summary of the time, total time you consumed for learning the courses, because there's some average time we expect that the students will use for courses, and we need to see how you are doing. Maybe there some adjustments are required, and this helps us to get out of the tamas, that is being passive, stupid, and lazy. And for some people, it's difficult to do, and we need a sharp, not lazy mind. We need to be time, and it's better to make mistakes rather than just doing nothing, living, laying down, enjoying yourself. Because when you make a mistake, or somebody would say you made a mistake, you get the experience, you get the result, so you can adjust whatever you are doing. And yoga says that after this tamas, or this passive period, when you do nothing, the pain comes, the suffering comes, because you haven't done what you had to do, and we have to be aware what we want to do with our time. So yes, appreciate your time and appreciate the time of others, because sometimes people who are in yoga or are telling that they are in yoga disrespect the time of others. They say, oh, I will have my lesson longer. Doesn't matter that I have 2 people in my class and there are 10 people coming to the next class, and their class will be late, or there's some appointment or meeting time, and they show up in a half an hour late, and without even apologizing or warning somebody, yes, I am on my way, but there are 30, 40 people waiting, or this will bring the chain reaction. Imagine there is the massage therapist, and the first client is late for half an hour, and if this massage is not made half an hour shorter, then all of the day is already getting half an hour late at least. So it's a thing to think about, and we have to appreciate the time, and that's what on open yoga courses we do. We will also focus on the factor of memorizing. Memorizing is very important aspect in yoga. As I mentioned, every class we start with memorizing what we did before, and on the basic things in yoga, like what is yoga, the first principle, the second principle, dharma, karma, and some more, not many, but some more. We will keep on returning, reminding you the first principle is the principle of kindness, and it says that you should do the maximum efforts, apply the maximum efforts to avoid harming any living being without an emergency. Or if it's not possible, you follow your duty. And you'll say, I know it, I have heard it for 100 times. Why do you keep repeating this? But the experience of yogis show that this is required. And it has to be like in a way that you are waking up at night, and you have to tell it the first principle of yoga, and you tell it the second principle, the third principle, and you're ready to do it at any time. So don't waste your time. And it was the best to work out some things, to learn things by heart. Otherwise, we would not have this information at all, and we will constantly repeat something. And there are hidden, invisible meanings that seemingly obvious statements, and this will require some time to learn them. Okay, so how should you pass this one course of the yoga, open yoga courses, or the other? So whenever you just start, rule number 1 is your yoga diary. Then number 2, you select place and time where you will be able to be alone and nobody's going to disturb you to learn. So it's either your practice of hatha yoga, kriya yoga, any other meditation, pranayama, mantra yogas, or you would learn the theory, or you will go through the courses. Then you prepare a pen, a watch, and your yoga diary again, and might need several pens, just to not say, well, my pen is out, I can't write with it anymore, so I'm not going to do it. Yogis don't do that. Then you record your start time and the date, and you start passing the courses or you do the practice. You work through the material and make the necessary notes, comments in your yoga diary, send necessary comments to us, and you learn to understand the better whatever is there. And then you record the time when you finished it. Then when the tests are ready, or you are ready for the tests, or you have reached the place in the lessons or courses where you need to take the test, you do the test. And then you again note the time when you completed it, how much time you spent, because you will be asked to do it. Some of the people say, I am tired of your theory. I didn't come to learn the theory. Give me the practice. I need Hatha yoga class. I need Kriya yoga class, and maybe mantra. I will think about it. We need some theory first for you to escape many mistakes, and then you will be able to go on with your practice. And preferably, that we can't really do in the distant learning is to have your yoga instructor. We can manage some Skype conversations, some Google Plus conversations. When we have a group or there is some willingness to learn privately, or you need some consulting, it is possible, but it is also very advisable to find your yoga instructor who will help you or guide you through the first classes, for your first experience, to get more advanced and to get more what you can get. And this might not be easy. You might probably need to check several yoga instructors, several schools, to find the approach that suits you. Okay, and the courses will be logical, and you need to start with the level 0 where we start, and there will be several. There's a 0 cycle where you start your studies of the courses. Then there will be kinds of yoga, and then there will be comments on some ancient texts and maybe some other materials of yoga theory. But be patient. We advise you to be patient and review materials carefully, but don't get too lazy. Follow your time and how you use, if you use your resources effectively. We are refreshing courses for some time, from time to time. Thereby take a look if there is anything new posted. Save your materials, your homeworks, if you need to save the yoga materials you have passed, you are more than welcome to do that. If you have any problems, please contact us, because this might be helpful for other people to save their time, so it will be a surplus to your good karma. And use our calendar. We will post there our classes, so you can see what we are going to do the next year, 2015. In a very fast way. Sorry for taking your time a little bit longer. we reviewed very fastly what are open yoga courses about, what should be your approach to studies, and what you need to do the studies successfully. We will see you in January of 2014. But of course, we will post new materials on the site during these 2 weeks. Hope you have had a wonderful year. Make a review, probably in your yoga diary, how well you succeeded this year. Hope your family is doing great, and wishing you all the best. Thereby enjoy the Christmas time and the holidays. We will continue learning yoga next year, and there is a new project we have started for the memorizing. This is the yoga in less than 5 minutes with Yogini Rasa. That would be me, where you can in a very fast and effective way check things like how to make a decision in complicated yoga situations. First principle, second principle, and third principle. What is Dharma? What is Karma? How to find work, how to reach your goals, and so on and so forth. If you have your yoga questions, please send them to yogaopenyoga@gmail.com. And if it's the relevant question for many people starting to study yoga, we will post it in a video form, and this will be your way to express yourself and help others. So be creative, draw your diagrams and drawings, send them also in. And all the information is on the website yogaopenyoga.com. And thank you for watching, and see you very soon. See ya. Bye bye.